I'm a licensed mental health therapist, and I'm gonna ask you 3 questions to see if you need to go to therapy to see if that's holding you back in your entrepreneurial journey. So last year I had a CPA reach out to me, and he wanted to work with me because his business wasn't going as well as he wanted it to. He was working part-time for an employer, but also he was running his business on the side. And that's the story of a lot of people that I see. And when he started to work with me, we found out that the thing that was holding him back was that he didn't want to feel too salesy when he started to give his pitch for his business. So in other words, he didn't have confidence in himself. He had this fear of rejection. So after we started talking, I gave him this new therapy technique that I use with all of my clients. And what we were able to do was take him from having 20 clients to having 60 clients in 7 months. And he was actually able to quit his job, and now he does his own business full time. And this was just the story of one client who was able to either double or triple, whatever it was, his business in order to take it full time or just simply to take it to the next level. I work with a lot of people from 6-figure, 7-figure to even 8-figure entrepreneurs. And it's from therapy I've been able to help them to unlock that hidden key to get them to able to go to the next level that they've been wanting to go to. Now, before I say that you need to go to therapy, I want to ask you guys these 3 questions to see if you need to go to therapy. And if you say yes to one, if not all of these therapy questions, then it is a sign that you should go to therapy. So before I go into those 3 questions, I want to tell you guys, make sure you subscribe to the channel so that you can get these gems for free, because there are people right now paying me for the information that I'm about to give you. And again, you get it absolutely for free. So with that being said, let's get into point number 1. So point number 1, the first thing that you need to ask yourself, if it means that you need to go to therapy, is do you still feel stuck even after reading dozens of self-help books? Now, as you can see from over my shoulder, I have a bookshelf and there are a lot of self-help books over there, right? But for me, as I read them, I do feel like I'm genuinely getting better, and I can give you guys proof of that easily. Now for you, if you feel like you've been reading a lot of books, right, whether it's Jay Shetty or Mel Robbins, Brendon Burchard, or whoever those guys are, Tony Robbins, if you feel like you've been reading their books and you haven't been getting better, you still feel stuck with where you're at in your business or even in your mindset, then it is a sign that you need to go to therapy. And the reason why is because those books, they're not tailored to your experiences. Those books are tailored to their experiences and also the people that they mentioned in their books, right? But you may need someone, you definitely need someone that is able to listen to what you're going through and give you a specific technique that's going to help you with the specific thing that you're going through. Because let's face it, those books, they're generic, right? Even though they have some specificity, right? Whether you're talking about habits, focus, leadership, or whatever it is, to a degree, those books, they're generic. And you need someone to dive into your personal life and be able to pull out the gems, the keys that are holding you back. And that is a big sign that you need to go to therapy. Point number 2 that you need to go to therapy is that you struggle to find fulfillment even after you accomplish a goal. Now, the reason why this happens is that there's a good chance that you're chasing goals and you're accomplishing them, right? So obviously, but the question then becomes, are you chasing the right goals? And even more importantly, do your goals have an attachment to values? To have a goal without value is to be driving without a direction, right? To be driving without a GPS or even a destination. By doing that, yes, you're moving, right? But you're not making progress. And what we want to make sure that we're doing is that we're going towards the things that make our lives work or to make us feel fulfilled. Now, here's another great question I want to ask you guys. The goals that you have, are they actually your goals, or are they social media goals, your friend group goals, or even worse, are they your parents' goals? If so, there's a good chance that you're living a life for someone else and not for yourself. And that is another sign that you need to go to therapy to figure out what is it that makes your life work. Because for some people, they're doing things out of people pleasing. But I even share this, for some people, they're accomplishing goals because they believe that this goal is going to be the key to helping them overcome some trauma that they've gone through. So there have been men that I've worked with, even women, but specifically men that have been, let's say, sexually abused, right? Which is very uncommon. They've been sexually abused, and as a result, they think that some money goal, so becoming a 7-figure entrepreneur, is going to help them to overcome and forget about that past, right? You may even see some guys that are in the gym that are really buff, right? And these are some of the people that have been sexually abused as well, because they think to themselves, I'm gonna get so big, so strong that no one would ever be able to take advantage of me again. This is where your goals become a reflection of your trauma. And that is why you need to find a therapist to help you to work through that and find the values and the goals that actually work for you. And point number 3, the last point, this is a great one, a clear sign that you need to go to therapy. And actually, it's a sign that you're struggling with depression. And it's simple. It's if you still feel burnt out after you go on a vacation, if you still find yourself feeling sad after you go on a vacation, then that is a sign that you need to see a therapist. And the reason why is because there's this thing called anhedonia, okay? Now, do you need to remember that? No, but you do need to know what it means. So basically what happens is that you start to lose pleasure in the things that you once found pleasure in. So if you're someone that loves to go fishing, go on boats, go to the beach, but now it's very tough for you to go do those things, or as you go and do those things, you don't find the same pleasure that you used to, that is a sign that you're depressed. You know, anhedonia is kind of like the gatekeeper that's keeping your happiness locked inside this cage or in this dungeon. And they have the magic key to let your happiness out. But the thing is, they are the only ones with it, right? And you have to be able to get that key to unlock your happiness. And that's where a therapist comes in. Now, if you guys find yourself, again, feeling depressed, feeling burnt out after a vacation, one of the worst things that you can do is actually try to spend more money on a better vacation, because what that's going to do is create a deeper hole for your depression to live. I'll give you guys a great example of this. So one of the guys that went to the moon, it wasn't Neil Armstrong, but the other guy that went to the moon, when he came back, he fell into a pit of depression. He actually started using drugs and alcohol as well. And the reason why is because there was nothing that he could do that could overtop going to the moon. That was the biggest thing that he could do. Now, how does that relate to going on vacations and things like that? Could you imagine how tough it would be if you spent, let's say, $10,000 to $20,000 on your dream vacation and you still felt depressed? Or you went on that vacation thinking that it'd be life-changing, but you didn't have any fun doing it. That would be a big blow. And now you're asking yourself, well, if I, let's say, have 7 figures in the bank or went on a very expensive vacation, I did everything that I thought would bring the happiness, but yet I'm still depressed, it'll put you in a bad place, because you'll be asking yourself, well, what else is there to do? And unfortunately, this is where people start to dibble and dabble into drugs. So you may be also someone that goes from using some marijuana to maybe using a lot, or even worse, using marijuana to using harder things like pills, ecstasy, cocaine, and things like that. This is where those vacations, those pleasures that you're seeking, if you find that you can't feel them, you need to go find a therapist that can help you to unlock that, okay? Because there's a good chance there may be some past trauma, past hurt that's keeping this happiness locked away. And once you're able to do that, you'll then start to find the motivation and the fulfillment that you need to actually go back into your business and start operating on 100% or even close to it, rather than operating at your 50% that you're currently doing at this point. Now, with that being said, I'm gonna go over the 3 questions that you need to ask yourself to see if you need to go to therapy to help you to unlock your journey, right? Unlock your future potential as an entrepreneur. And the first question that I ask is that if you still feel stuck, or rather, do you still feel stuck after reading dozens of self-help books, right? So again, if you're reading the Tony Robbins, the Mel Robbins, the Jay Shetty books, and you still find yourself feeling stuck, then that's a sign that you need something a little bit more specific. And there's nothing wrong with that. I've been in that place as well. Those books are actually meant to help you after you've gone to therapy. So make sure you go to therapy and then you use those books to help you to maintain that. Now, the second point that I made is that, do you struggle with finding fulfillment when you accomplish your goals? Now, if you struggle with finding fulfillment after you accomplish your goal, there's a chance that you're chasing the wrong goals. You're building a life that maybe someone else has told you that is very valuable and meaningful. And if that is the case, you need to stop living life on their terms and start to live life on your terms. And the best way to do that is to have someone pull that out of you. And you do that through therapy. More specifically, you'll do that even with journaling in the therapy sessions. And the third part that I made is, do you still feel burnt out even after a vacation? If that is the case, there's a good chance that there's something getting in the way of you feeling the feelings from doing something that's very fun, like a vacation or whatever it is that you like to do in your free time. If it's hard for you to find pleasure in the things that you once found pleasure in, then that is a sign that you need to go to therapy. So with that being said, my name is Coach Wells. I want you guys to click the link in my bio and subscribe to my newsletter, because by doing that, it guarantees that you get a lot of tips, a lot of gems that people are paying me for absolutely nothing. So my name is Coach Wells. Thanks for checking this out, and I'll see you later.